All right, everybody, if you're still with me, welcome to this bonus material. I'm going to plug in all of the ingredients of our nutty and seedy Mediterranean diet salad that we just made into a diet tracker. And it's going to give us exactly the nutrition that is in this meal so that you guys can be more informed. Now, why am I even bothering to do this? Well, the thing is, I don't think it's necessary to know the exact nutrient breakdown of your meals in order to be healthy. In fact, that can often be counterproductive to being healthy because people can obsess over it and then decide what they're eating based off of numbers. And that can be a little overboard. I really do believe that we should be eating food and we should enjoy eating food, and that the eating process should be something that is manageable, sustainable, and not taking up too much time out of our lives. However, I am also a firm believer in the principle that what gets measured gets improved. So by measuring a little bit of your diet and having a general comprehension of the breakdown of the nutrition in your meals, you can make more informed decisions to boost your health and maybe even lose some weight if that's your goal, or bulk up if that's your goal. Whatever it is, you can streamline the process to achieving your goals. So let's dive into it. We have landed ourselves on a website called Cronometer. Now, there are tons of options when it comes to choosing a diet tracker that you want to use. Cronometer is one that I started using in nutrition school, oh my goodness, a decade ago, and it's free. So I like it because it's really simple and it's really easy to understand. But there are absolutely other brands and other programs and other apps that do just as good of a job. So by no means do you need to use this one. Feel free to use the one that you prefer. So we're gonna plug in our Mediterranean diet salad. So I like to go over here, and if this is a meal that I know I eat on the reg, or if I know I might want to eat it again, it kind of behooves me to not just add it into my diary, because then I'll have to dig for it later or even have to add it in again, but I'm going to add a meal to my dashboard or to my account so that I can plug and chug later and say, oh, I just repeated that salad that I already had in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a meal. So I'm going to call this meal the Nutty Seedy Mediterranean Diet Salad. You guys wouldn't believe how long it took me to learn how to spell Mediterranean, and it's super confusing because in Italian it's Mediterraneano. So we have this extra N in the word, and don't even get me started. Okay, so easy. You start adding items and you can search for what we had. So let's start with, I like to go from smallest to largest in terms of like the visual. I'm a very visual thinker, visual learner, so it's just easy for me to see. So we had some romaine lettuce and it was all chopped up. Now here's the thing, you guys noticed I didn't exactly hardcore measure everything. This is all going to be give or take. It's going to be an approximate amount. We definitely had more romaine than spinach, so I'm gonna say that it was 2 cups, which is, it's not a lot, guys. It's only 16 calories. So don't be scared of the amount you use. It might not actually carry a lot of nutrition inside of it. And then we had our spinach, and I'm gonna say that that was just 1 cup. And now we had some cherry tomatoes. Yep, grape, Roma, cherry, whichever variety you like. And I'm gonna estimate that chopped up, it was about a 1/2 cup. Again, I am estimating, so this is not going to be exact to the calorie, but to me, that's not the most important thing. What else do we have? We had cucumber raw with the peel. And notice they put a distinction in there with and without the peel. You guys, the nutrition is different when you take the peels off of some vegetables or fruits, so pay attention. I know if you have little kids that don't like having the peels, that's a different story. You definitely want to get them to eat as much healthy fruit and vegetable whole foods as you can, and kids can be really picky eaters, so you do have to work with them on that. But overall, if you can tolerate the peels on stuff, you're adding minerals. Okay, so what else do we have? We had some avocado. Oh look, it's right up there because I already searched it before. And each, I actually used just 1/2. And now let's add in all of our nuts and seeds. So we had some slivered almonds. 1 serving is actually a 1/4 cup. I would say that's about the amount we used. We also had pumpkin seeds. And I had, raw pumpkin seeds. They were unsalted and they did not have the shell. They were shelled, in other words. Now, why does it matter? So if you buy roasted nuts or seeds from a grocery store, you need to be aware. Part of the roasting process so things don't burn is they have to add oil. So it's possible that for some roasted products, pre-roasted, that you buy in the grocery store, they added oil on top of the fact that it's already a really oily food. So pay attention. If you're trying to minimize the amount of fat that you're taking in, for whatever reason that is, those can be kind of tricky things. You want to look for raw, and if you like that toasty, nutty flavor, I recommend toasting it yourself. Just make sure you're standing in the kitchen while you do it so that you don't burn them, because they can turn really quickly. And every oven's a little different, so it can really burn. Okay, so we added our almonds, we added some pumpkin seeds, we also had sunflower seeds. And the kind I actually have are dry roasted and salted. I'll be honest, they were cheaper, so I bought them. Don't be afraid to make decisions because of cost sometimes. The beautiful thing is that the body is super resilient, and it is okay if we're not able to buy organic all of the time, if we're not able to buy the most whole form of something, or, you know, the grocery store that is near our house so that we don't have to travel really far away and spend gas money just to get to the grocery store has products that are a little bit less healthy than what is ideal for us. That is okay. The goal is to do your best. Now we added some feta crumbles. Feta cheese crumbles. This is just some brand. It's not the brand I had. Notice, if you buy from certain brands, they have like European standards of putting things in, and I'm going to try to keep this as American as I can, just so it's easy. So I'm gonna say that it was about a quarter cup, that's fine. And now we have our tahini and lemon dressing. So tahini was pure. The only thing in it is ground up sesame seeds. That's all it is. So I had 1 tablespoon. I also added olive oil, and that was 1 tablespoon. Notice right there. Okay, and I added lemon raw, and it was 1 medium, I'll call it, and it was a half. You guys can see there's almost no calories in lemon juice. It's so sour, you're not even going to use a lot, so I wouldn't be concerned if you don't know if it counts as a small, medium, or large. It's negligible. Okay, so the only other thing is salt and pepper, but I'm not even going to add that. You know what, for completion's sake, let's do it. Salt. We had, this is my favorite thing, a dash of salt. I'm going to say it was 2 dashes. I don't even know how much a dash really is. And then black pepper. I'm going to go with a dash again, just because it's so much fun. Look at that, 2 calories. Okay, so look, let's check that we got everything. So this is our bulk, our base. We had lettuce and spinach, a combination. And then we had some tomatoes, cucumbers, avocado, dry roasted, slivered, unsalted almonds. Again, my brand was different, so it might not be 100% perfect, but it's going to be about this amount. We had some raw pumpkin seeds, some sunflower seeds, some crumbled feta cheese, pure tahini, olive oil, lemon juice, salt, and pepper. I hope I didn't forget anything. That was a lot of ingredients. So here's the cool part. Now I'm gonna scroll down. I think that I didn't quite put in the correct amount of some of these things. Don't be afraid of the calories. This is going to be a high calorie salad, but I'm going to actually tell you guys to ignore the calories. I'm not concerned with how many calories are in this meal. We are going to focus on the foods that we're eating, not the amounts of things that are in them. When you focus on whole foods and when you focus on nutrient-dense foods, everything else is pretty much taken care of, okay? So if this is scaring you right now, recognize that emotion, take a breath, and exhale, and I promise that it's okay. So let's go through and see what's actually in this meal. So higher calories, for sure. Now, this is going to be this whole column, percent DV. You may have seen this before on nutrition labels. Percent daily value is what it stands for. I'm not going to dig into the nitty gritty, but just know that the age you are, the sex you are, and the amount you weigh is going to impact this percentage. So this is an average percentage daily value for somebody in my circumstance. Now this is going to give me a lot of information. I'm not going to make this a huge nutrition lesson because that's detail overload. I just want to show you how cool this is, because if you're interested, you can really dial in and see what's going on here. So the most important thing I want you guys to pay attention to, and this is, in my opinion, the best thing about the Mediterranean diet and the best thing about this salad. Look at the carbohydrates. Overall, it's not that much when it comes to both the gram value and the amount overall that I should be taking in a day's time. But check out the fiber profile. This is about 20 grams of fiber, let's round up, which amounts to roughly almost 80% of the amount of fiber I need in a day. The amount of fiber people need to take in is roughly 28 grams plus or minus, let's say 6. So ballpark it, anywhere from 25 to 30 grams is the amount you want in a day. Fiber is so important for our digestion, everything about how we are feeling when it comes to our gastrointestinal tract. It is important to help us absorb water in our colon, and it's very crucial for helping to prevent colon cancer. And I'm not kidding, colon cancer is on the rise, and we are seeing it in younger and younger people every year. This is something to focus on and pay attention to. Most folks are way under their fiber intake, what's recommended for them. Really pay attention to fiber, guys. Now go down here, look at the fat. This is a lot of fat in somebody's diet. I tend to eat more fat than is recommended for this average American, but I feel better that way. And the most important thing is that I'm getting my fat from healthy sources. So look at this. The bulk of the fat is mono and polyunsaturated compared to saturated. That is important. We want that. And where's the saturated fat coming from in this meal? It's from the cheese. So if you wanted to avoid saturated fat, because that we know it can increase the risk for cardiovascular disease, then you can just eliminate it. You don't need to have the dairy. That's totally up to you. Okay. Moving down here, there's a lot of protein, you guys, in nuts and seeds. Do not underestimate it. All these amino acids, all 20. Again, this is giving us way more information than we need. I just want to show you that, yes, this is a very nutrient-dense meal. You have almost all of your vitamins. It is expected that vitamin B12 would be missing. Why? Because B12 is mostly from animals and animal products. So these are things like meat and eggs and some fish. People who are vegan should be supplementing with B12. Pay attention to that. And you can see that there's just so much nutrition everywhere. Also, vitamin D low in this salad. That's not unexpected either. We don't really have any foods that have particularly high amounts of vitamin D. Minerals, I'm not going to dig into it with you in this video, but you can just appreciate how rich in nutrition all these ingredients are. All right, folks, if you were with me through that deep dive into the nutrition of our nutty and seedy Mediterranean diet salad, congrats. I hope you learned a lot. And if you missed the video where I actually made the salad, you're going to want to check that out right here, because that is the setup to everything that we just talked about in terms of what is in the salad, why I even made the salad for you guys, and how you can throw it together yourself. So go check out that video and ask me more questions. If there's something that you want to learn more about, maybe I talked about it and maybe I didn't touch on something, please leave me a comment below. I love answering questions. I love talking about nutrition, as you guys can probably appreciate. And let's keep the conversation going. So make sure to go add some of these things to that grocery list so you can pull together a Mediterranean diet nutty seedy salad for yourself and your family.